Today I'll be talking about the conventions of 3 different genres and how you can see the particular programme fits into each individual category. The first genre that I'll be talking about is comedy. The conventions of comedy consist of the likes of props that have a high chance of comedic use, a well-populated area. The setting is normally in a programme which includes actors that are socially awkward, sarcastic or injury-prone. The first programme I'll be talking about is The Middle. The Middle shows these conventions because they live in a well-populated area. One of the main characters, Sue, is accident-prone and quite clumsy. People are socially awkward, like Brick, and they have characters who are sarcastic, such as Axel and Mike. Most of the episodes are a closed ending. There is often an episode which leads into the next. The Middle tends to have a linear narrative. For series, The Middle tends to be closed ending, so that the series don't normally link into one another. There are very rarely flashbacks in the programme, and the storyline goes from A to B. The second programme we're talking about is Family Guy. In Family Guy, the conventions are shown as the programme is based in a city. They involve many of the same conventions as most comedy programmes, such as people who are socially awkward and sarcastic. Most Family Guy episodes have a closed ending, and they change from linear to non-linear narrative. In some of the episodes, they have flashbacks and show the audience at the start what happens, and then how it happens. An example of this is Peter with the Chicken. However, they also use a linear narrative and have a closed episode that goes from A to B that tends to have a closed ending. Both of these programmes are part of the series. The second genre that I'll be talking about is romance. There are many conventions for this genre, and they consist of a happy ever after ending, love scenes, a big city which is well populated, modern setting, female audience is normally the point of aim, soft music and bright colours. The first clip is of Gavin and Stacey. The conventions that are used in romance are clearly shown in Gavin and Stacey. A female audience isn't quite the point of aim. There is definitely a modern setting, both families are well represented, arguments occur and bright colours are worn. The show definitely has a linear structure as there are no flashbacks and a storyline that's in order. Most of the episodes have a mix between an open and closed ending, with each episode being linked into one another but not leaving the audience on a cliffhanger, so it's an open ending. The next show I'll be talking about is Mike and Molly. The conventions of both comedy and romance are shown in this. These conventions are, they are both well presented, they live in a big city, which is New York, they both argue, and the setting is modern. The programme has a linear storyline, with a story being told in each episode. Also, most of the episodes have a closed ending, with only a couple of the episodes linking into one another. Both of these programmes are part of a series. Next I will talk about the conventions in a crime series and what kind of narratives they involve. The first programme we're talking about is Criminal Minds. The conventions that appear in this storyline are mysteries, questions and debates, and some kind of working relationship. Criminal Minds meets the conventions because they set a storyline where a murder or death happens. There is a relationship between two other detectives, and there is always a mystery for the audience. I believe that Criminal Minds is a linear narrative because of its layout. Each episode is laid out in a linear narrative format, and there are rarely flashbacks, but this does happen every now and then. The narrative structure for this series is also linear. Series tend to be closed-ending, whilst episodes can be open, and many of them are. Criminal Minds is part of a series. The next crime show I'll be talking about is Silent Witness. Silent Witness managed to meet the conventions of a crime because of the following. They include a mystery, which is linked to a murder. In the other conventions they meet are a relationship between the characters. The relationship is that the 3 doctors who work in the hospital, and they are all very close to one another. There are also questions and debaits. This programme is a non-linear narrative, as the storyline is incredible. The episodes of Silent Witness are normally a closed ending, but on the off chance there is sometimes a double episode, so one of them is not.
What are you talking about?
The series of Silent Witness is a closed ending, and they don't really tend to interlink.
It's already happening. Look around you, it's a miracle.